The story I'm about to tell you guys is one of the few stories that I've told on my stream before, but hasn't been retold too many times. And every single time I've told it on my stream, everyone has always told me to turn it to a YouTube video because it is that entertaining. And I just kind of put it off until now, where I'm just kind of looking for new content to do. And I thought of this story that happened because it was really entertaining. I was like, how can I turn this into the best YouTube video that I can? And so I did. And here we are. So the story takes place when I first started pursuing YouTube and Twitch full time. And every month I was kind of just barely able to make rent and pay for food and stuff like that. I was on like a ramen diet and eggs and just anything cheap that I could buy to just have calories. And so when I would ever get like a sponsorship opportunity, I would always look into it, but I didn't want to sell out. So I had this email sent to me from a guy named ELO Man. And ELO Man said that he lived local to me and that he owned several businesses and he wanted to pursue a business opportunity with me. Now, this isn't some Nigerian prince. This guy looked legitimate. He had like a Facebook page and he told me a little bit about what he did. And it seemed kind of interesting, or at least at the time, I vaguely remember being really excited about this business opportunity because I needed money and this guy seemed pretty established. He never told me his full name, but he was like, hey, let's just meet up for dinner at this place. And he told me the name of the place and I'd never been there before. And it was pretty local to me. It was like a 15-20 minute drive. So I decided, what the heck, let's go for this. This is perfectly reasonable in the business world to meet someone up for dinner. This is not so different. I hope that this becomes a normally established type of business opportunity. So I agreed. And on the day of the meetup, I'm just driving there and I'm thinking, wait, what restaurant is this? I've never heard of this restaurant. This is weird. And I get to the restaurant and it's this really expensive looking building. And when you see an expensive looking building, it's usually because it's got a lot to it. They're like expensive materials and stuff. And I'm thinking, oh God, I underdressed for this. Like, what am I doing? I thought this was just like a casual place and we're just kind of meeting up just to grab a quick bite to eat. And we were going to like talk business and stuff. No. This place was fancy. I walk in, it's fucking nocturnal. This is dim as fuck in there. I'm talking, this is like jazz music going on. There's couples just like at tables together. I don't even know how the servers were able to walk around. That's how dim it was in there. There's like candles. And I'm like, all right, okay, I made it this far. I drove this far. I have to go through with this. So I walk up to the people that seat you and I think to myself, I don't know this person's name. What do I say? So I just kind of just casually just walk up and like, hey, is someone here make a reservation or ELO Man? ELO Man. What was that? ELO Man. What's your name? Richard. That he might have said Valkrin. And they just looked at me like, the fuck? They just like looked at me up and down. I wasn't dressed for this at all, and they were just kind of like, just take a seat over there. I'm just like sitting down. I'm like, oh God, this is gonna be awkward. And I was like looking around. I didn't know what this person looked like. They sounded older with the email. They sounded like an older like business person. I didn't really know, but they what I had in my mind was this like established business owner, and so I was looking for these just like old people or like older people. And I'm waiting there for quite a while, probably 20-30 minutes. And I was about to leave when this really skinny Asian kid walks in. That's probably 17, 18, 19 years old. I have no idea. I was like 22 at the time. And he starts talking to them. And I heard the name Valkrin mentioned. And I was like, oh, okay, this is weird. So I'm like, oh, hey, that's me. And he was like, oh, it's ELO Man, blah, blah, blah. And he said his first name and I don't remember it. At the time, I don't remember it. I don't remember it now. And it was just awkward because I'm like, oh, what was his name? We're like walking to get seated. I don't remember his name. I'm just going to call him ELO Man if he asks, if I need to say his name. So we sit down and we start talking business like right away. and like the server's walking over and trying to talk us into these like fancy drinks and stuff like that. I'm looking at this kid. I'm like, he's not 21. I can get this, but he's definitely not 21. And I didn't. I was just like, yeah, this is kind of weird. I don't want to drink alcohol with a stranger, and we're talking business. I want a clear head. Blah blah blah. And thankfully I didn't start drinking, because this would have been an even weirder situation. And you got to remember that there's candlelights around us, dim light, jazz music playing. I don't know how the waiters can like find us because it's that dark in there. And he starts talking to me about, things I've done and what he's interested to do with me. And then he's like, hey, I've got a great idea. Why don't you boost for my ELO boosting website? This is not the first time I've been approached about doing this at the time, because I was a high-ranked challenger player and a ton of boosting sites were just blowing up and getting really popular, and they always had like a lucrative offer, like, we'll pay you X amount. And I'm just like, if I'm going to boost, which I didn't, and I still haven't, and I probably never will, I would just do it myself, right? Like, you like having someone else take a cut in like an illegal market, like it's just pointless. So he was talking to me into doing like all this stuff, and I just didn't say anything. He was like, yeah, man, I got a great idea. You can like stream and do YouTube content, and then just use these accounts that I'll give you, and then we'll just like split the money. Like, I'll do all the marketing, I'll do all the hard work. Don't worry about it, man. You'll just be my challenger booster. You'll boost people to challenger, and we'll just make a ton of money. And then after he finished his business proposal, I'm like, that was your proposal? And I'm like, I'm just not going to do that, man. Like, I'm not interested in that. And he was pretty mad. He starts getting a little bit peeved, and he's like, I'm paying for this dinner. You came here tonight for business, and you didn't even hear all my proposal. And I'm like, man, I'm just not interested in ELO boosting. Like, it's not even anything against you or your website or anything like that. I just don't want to ELO boost. That's just not what I want to do. And so he's like, okay, all right, well, you do coaching, right? And I was like, yeah, I do coaching. This is what I charge an hour, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, yeah, man, all right, that sounds cool. Let's do that. Let's do that instead. You'll just coach me full time. I was like, what are you talking about full time? He's like, yeah, man, you'll just coach me for like 2 months. You'll like get me to challenger, and I'll become a challenger player, and then I can just do the boosting on my own. And he's like, oh, don't worry, man, I got you covered. I'll pay you like a ton of money. And I'm thinking like, ooh, sure, like this is definitely something I'm interested in. Like, I'm not going to get fucking banned from Riot for coaching somebody. And this is where things started getting kind of weird. He then proposes something very strange. And at first I didn't really hear it, because what I've got in my head is cha-ching, like, man, I'm paying month to month right now. I'm just barely getting by. But this could really help me out. Like, if I can just fill up my schedule with all these coaching sessions with this person, get him really high and challenger or something like that, because he gets a lot better. And then, because at the time he was like in diamond, and I was thinking, man, I could probably get this guy to challenger if I just teach him the meta picks and tell him what to do at this point in time. Because this is like earlier seasons, everybody sucked at League, everybody still sucks at League, but at the time, there were fewer good players, so it was a lot easier to climb. Along with the meta being more individually dependent, you could solo carry games much easier. So all these things are going through my head, and I don't really hear him talking about the next part. His next proposal was like, hey man, it'd just be really easy if I moved in with you. I was like, at the time I didn't hear it, but like a few seconds later, things started jogging into motion. Move in with me. Yeah, man, this would be great. Like, we could just like wake up, and you can just coach me all day, and then I can do my ELO boosting stuff. And I was just like, I'm not really in a place to move into. I'm not really in a place of money to like move into a new place and all this other stuff. And I don't really know you. And he's like, no, man, it'll be fine. Like, I'll just move into your current apartment, and I'll just like stay on the couch or something like that. I was like, I don't have a couch. Like, I'm fucking poor. And he's like, yeah, it's fine, man. I'll just like bring in a mattress. And I'm like, why are you pushing so hard to move in with me? What is happening right now? And then I just like look around. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? There's candles, dim lighting. Does he think he's on a fucking date with me? And then that's when everything just starts going downhill. You're not going to move in with me, is what I remember saying. after a while because he kept trying to talk me into it. And he's like, man, I'll just coach you. Or I mean, that's he was saying. You'll just coach me, and then I'll start coaching other people, and we can just like create this business around this. He's saying all sorts of stuff like ELO boosting, coaching services. He's trying to talk me into like all these different businesses. I'm like, hey man, like, you know, I can coach you in person, but we just have to like go to a LAN cafe or something like that. You know, just a cool, chill place, but not my apartment. And then he was like, no, man, it's fine. Like, I don't even have a place to stay right now. This will just work out perfectly. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, what the fuck? Like, if you're making all this money from ELO boosting, just get your own fucking apartment. He's like, nah, man, I'm just like saving money. This will be a good opportunity for both of us. Like, why are you turning this down? Like, he started putting it on me like you're crazy for turning down all this money. I'm like, hey, man, like, we could do this coaching stuff. I just don't want you to live in my fucking bedroom. I don't want you to live in my apartment. And I felt really uncomfortable because I don't know what this person's intention is fully. Like, why would you invite me to this like date restaurant? I'm a heterosexual male. There's nothing wrong with being gay for this day, you know what I mean? But I had a girlfriend at the time, and I'm just not interested in this situation at all. And things just kept getting weirder. Things spiraled out of control. Things start getting pretty heated to the point where I'm just thinking, I want to get out of here. So I'm just like, hey man, just let me think about it. Because you don't want to like, when someone's getting this irate in public, this like peeved, you don't want to just like definitively say no, because then it's going to make a huge scene. And I'm a person that will avoid like anxious situations if I can. Like, I went to the supermarket today and it was fucking hell. People are just like running into each other, like, move, you're not going fast enough, grandma. And there's like people in the self-checkout getting eyed, you know what I mean? Like, someone's going too slow, everybody's just staring daggers at them because it's like filled up. So I hate anxious situations. I hate being put in situations that create a lot of anxiety for me. And this situation is creating crazy amounts of anxiety for me. So I'm like, you know what, man, let me think about this. I'll get back to you, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah. And I'm thinking, does this person actually think that it takes, this would be it for me to agree for someone to move in with me and I don't know them? And so I get out of there. I leave there as soon as I can. And he's like, yeah, don't worry, man, I'll get the check. And he's like, I guess he's trying to show off or something like that. I'm like, oh, great. Thanks for the dinner. And I fucking book it out of there. I walk out and then I turn around and I start jogging. I'm like, I got to get out of here before he follows me home, man. I don't want to deal with this. I don't know if he's like under 17. Like, this is going to get really weird. Like, I don't know, man. So I get out of there. Like, I'm like always like looking back when I'm driving. I did a different loop to get home. And when I get home, there's a fucking email from him right away. And I'm thinking like, oh God, like what, why? And the email is just like, hey man, here's the business proposal again. I'll come and stay with you for this period of time. And it sounded really standard, but why the fuck are you moving in with me? Like, I don't know you. The circumstances were so strange. So I just don't respond to the email. And more time passes. Another email comes in and he's like, hey man, did you get my last email? Are you ignoring me? And so I responded to that one and I was like, hey man, I thought it over and, I just don't think this is going to work out. Like, I've got other plans going on. If you want to do coaching, we could do it online. And then he was like, no man, the agreement was you're going to coach me in person. Like, no. Like, the circumstances have changed, man. I just don't feel comfortable coaching you in person. Let's just scrap that. Like, online coaching is just as good. And then he just gets mad. The last email I got from him was just him just really pissed off that I he paid for dinner and all this other stuff. And I'm like, it's just so inappropriate. Like, what the fuck is this person thinking? Is this what every human is like? No, probably not. But it really was such a weird and awkward situation. Looking back on it, I should have never accepted this dinner invitation to meet with someone that I didn't know who they were, what their intentions were. And I'm thankful that I didn't get murdered in the sleep that I had that night. But yeah, the moral of the story is find out someone's intention before meeting with them in real life. regardless of anything. I'm sure he's just a socially awkward person. And to be honest, I'm socially awkward too. But it was really weird, and I think it was extremely inappropriate and awkward in so many different ways. And to be honest, I kind of wish I would have trolled him a little bit. I don't know how I would have done it, but it would have been great content, I'm sure, for YouTube. But yeah, so that's the ELO man story. And well, I'm here today, and I'm still alive, and I hope you enjoyed the story. There's plenty more where that came from. The ending of the story, to be honest, is kind of flat. I kind of wish there was a better like resolve to the situation, but it was just a really awkward semi-date, I guess, that happened that I didn't really agree to, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure what would have happened if I let that person come over to my house. But anyways, that's a start to my daily video series, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for my next video, and don't forget to check out my stream. Thanks.